So hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Previously, I made a video about using the Microsoft Word for beginners. So, in this video, we will talk about the Microsoft PowerPoint. This is one of the best tools you can use in creating presentations for your business or school related. So, without further ado, let's open up our Microsoft PowerPoint. I will be using the Microsoft PowerPoint 2013 here in my taskbar that is pinned. But in this tutorial, not to worry, for this is applicable on whatever version of your PowerPoint is. So once your PowerPoint loads up, this is what you will see. Mostly, I use this blank presentation and start creating there. That's for my case. But you can always choose a template that you may like in these given examples by Microsoft's for you. If you're not satisfied with any of these templates, we can go up here and search online for a template that is fitting on what you want to create. Let's say you want to create a business presentation. So with that, let's search business. And in here, you will find some of examples that you can use to create that business presentation you like. So let's go back. But in this case, I will be using the blank presentation. So let's open that up. So we will talk about the layout that we have here in PowerPoint. So before that, let's have a minute to talk about terminology that you need to know. On top, we see this home, insert, design, and etc. These are the tabs that we are going to work with. And in each tab, there is what we call ribbon. These are particularly the things you need to look upon when you're starting in creating a presentation. And in every ribbon, there is what we call groups. Specific sections inside a ribbon like the clipboard group, slides group, font group, paragraph group, drawing group, and editing group. Another thing that we can give attention to is this small pointer here, what we call a launch button. The purpose of the launch button is that Microsoft wanted to put all the options you can do inside the font group, for example, but everything doesn't fit. So they made this launch button so that you can have a quick access to other options you can do, for example, in this font group. So when you click this and then open up the launch button, you will see more options you can do inside the font group. So let's close that up first. So in review, we have the tabs, and in tabs, there are ribbons, and in every ribbon, there is a set of groups. So that's that for the layout of the PowerPoint itself. Now, let's talk about the actual components of our presentation. So here, in my screen, you can see a slide. This is my slide number 1, and this is where I can do the editing for this slide. On the left side of the screen, I have here a little thumbnail of the same slide. So, this small rectangle represents this slide. So, to begin in creating our presentation, you can see here where it says, click to add title. So, let's write something. Let's write a title, Types of Subjects in School. And also, let's add down here, which is going to be Fundamental Subjects. So, we have created our first slide in our presentation, but it seems kinda plain, don't you think? So, what we can do about that is we go to the Design tab, and down in this ribbon, we can see some of the examples of design or themes for our presentation. You might think it's like only 8 or 7 examples that you can use, but when you click this arrow, you will see more designs that you can use for your presentation. But if none of these fits your liking, remember the first thing we did when we look up for some example templates. There, you can use the design that will fit in your presentation. So for my case, let me use this vapor trail. So now, we have chosen a theme for our presentation. I would like to create a slide number 2 in my presentation. So, how do we do that? There are different ways to do that. So first, we go back to the Home tab, and in its ribbon, you'll find the Slides group. And as you can see here, it says New Slide. So, by clicking it, This will create a new slide for you. So now, PowerPoint created us a new slide, and as you can see, the layout is different from the first slide. This is the default layout that will be created when you click that section, and that's one way to create a new slide. But you might have noticed, there is an option on the new slides down here, and when you click this, you will get different set of layout in your presentation, like title slide, comparison, and many more. There are some of the larger options here that may have options on that specific section, like this one. It's a one-click way to create a slide, but down here, you will get more options on the specific type of slide you want to create for your presentation. So, another way to create a slide is to right-click down here, and you will see New Slide. And there we have it, we have more slides. So, let's remove some of the extra slides we have created. We can do that just by clicking this slide and press Delete on your keyboard. Another way is we can press this Undo to remove the changes we did on our presentation. So, after that, let me go back to slide number 2 and add some contents in our presentation. Let's say I would like to write about subjects. And down here are going to be subjects: math, English, science, and technology. Now, we have written some example subjects that can be found in school. Rather than writing all text in your presentation for all sections, it only consists of text that might drive the reader crazy or bored. What we can do is add some visuals in your presentation. To do that, we go to the Insert tab and click on Pictures. So, we go and find the pictures that will relate to our content. But, let's say you don't have a picture for that topic. Microsoft offers an option where we can search pictures online inside the PowerPoint itself for a quick access and easy editing. So, to do that, let's close this first and go to Online Pictures. And you will see Bing Image Search. So, let's search something about math. Say math. And here you will see some of the example pictures that you can use provided you by the Microsoft Office. So let's choose this image and then insert. And now we have a picture now in our presentation. So let's try to resize that first. There we go. Now we have a picture for math. Why don't we search for the rest of the subjects: English, science, and technology? So once again, let's go back to insert, go to the online pictures, then let's search English. Then let's choose a picture here. Let's choose this one, then press insert. Let's wait it for it to load. Downloading. And then we have it. Let me resize this again. There we go. And one more time for science, insert, online pictures, then let's search science, then let's choose this pic, then insert, waiting, oops, an error, sorry, let me try that again. Let me search an image for science, let's find something else. Okay, let's just choose this, insert, waiting. There we go. Let me resize this first. And lastly, for the technology. Then let's choose a picture for technology. Let's choose this one. Insert. And then let me resize this. Now, and we are done with our visuals. Let's say we made a mistake in putting our images. On top, we have this undo button where we can undo our mistake so we can fix our presentation. We also have this redo button where we can do the first thing we did before we ended our work. So, let's get back to our image. As you can see, we have this small arrow here on top where we have the ability to rotate our image freely in doing our presentation. So now, we have this 4 image that relates to our topic. So now, what we can do is go down here and click Slideshow. This will show the presentation we created through a slideshow presentation. So now, we are currently in our title slide. So, how can we show the other slides we created? I usually use the right arrow key in my keyboard to present the other slides I created. And I use the left arrow key to go back to the previous slide. To some people, like businesses or teachers, others use what we call a presentation remote to easily control the presentation they are showing. So now, I think I'm satisfied with the presentation that I made. But one more thing is that this slide seems a bit messy and I want to create it to something with more sense to it. So for me to do that, let me go back to editing and go to slide number 2. So here, I will create some spaces. In our subject. Let's start with math. And you will see it will create automatically a bullet. So let's remove that. Let's add a space for English as well. Science and technology. As you can see, our text technology is not creating the space we want for it. So we can always adjust this text box so we can align our pictures to the specific topic. There we go. Now, let's align our picture for the math. For English, let me resize this. For science, and for technology. Another way we can do is create a text box so we can move some parts anywhere in our slide rather than sticking to the left. But in this case, I'm fine having everything on the left side of the screen. So there's math, there's the English, there's the science, and there's the technology. Another thing we can do to make this less messy, I guess, is to add some animations to our presentation. So, to do that, we go to the animation tab. And here, you will see some examples of animation we can do to our presentation. As you can see, most of our options here are grayed out, but we have this animation pane, and this will come in handy when we do our animation. So, to turn this on, you first click on our presentation to the one we want to add an animation. So, I'll choose this image for math. As you can see, these are the different animations you can do for your presentation. You can try all of this out until you find the right animation for you. But most people simply just use appear and fade to avoid any distraction done by the other animation. So let's click this appear. And let's apply this to all of our images. Let's press English, then let's choose appear, science, let's choose appear, technology, and let's choose appear. Now, let's press again slideshow and see what we have created. Now, we can see the content of our slide. This will show math, English, science, and technology. Now, you will see that our picture got animated and brought to the scene. Now, I'm gonna click escape. So, in addition to our animation, just adding animations to our presentation, when you got certain animation selected on our animation pane, you can look up here and you can see some options for it. So, this animation will happen on a click. So when I click or tap on the presentation, that is the time when the animation will be applied. If I want to change that, I can either pick with previous or after previous. So there is nothing previous to our first image. So let's choose our second animation. Then I will change it from on click to with previous. You can also add a delay on the animation on when will it happen. So I will try again and go back to our presentation. So now, When I press this, both of them are animated at the same time. Why? Because I set the condition on this second animation to start animating with the previous animation. So now, at this point, you already learned how to use PowerPoint. You know how the screen is laid out. You know how to use the design theme for your presentation. You know how to click and add text to the slides. You know how to insert images from your computer or through online. You know how to add animations to your presentation. And also, I included something like adding text box on our presentation and how to use the undo button. Also, we have learned how to add a new slide down here. So at this point, I could just continue to click and add more slides and create stuff further for our presentation. When I'm completely finished, what we need to do here is go to the File tab. And in here, you will find a new setup screen with a panel on the left rather showing a ribbon. In here, you can add some protection to your presentation, but I don't really do that. But you can always check this option out. You can also see the properties of your presentation on this side. But for the most part, this is what you're looking for. You go to the File option in order to save what you've been working on, or maybe to open up a presentation that you made in the past. So now, I'm gonna go down and click Save. And you will see these options, OneDrive and your computer. So you might be wondering, what is OneDrive? OneDrive is the best place to save your works like documents, photos, and other files you want to save. Through that, you can also share your work with other people and even collaborate on the content. So in my case, I'll just save it on my computer and it will open up an option to show where you want to save your work at. After that, I'll name that file as types of subjects in school. That is automatically made by my PowerPoint. So let's click Save. And now, this PowerPoint is saved in our computer. So when we close our PowerPoint, that presentation is already saved. So in the future, when I open up my PowerPoint again, you will see the list of documents on the side that you made are open on your computer. You'll see something at the side, a push pin, and when you click that, it will pin this presentation on top of the list. This is important to remember that when you're planning to edit a specific document for weeks or longer, it's better to pin it on top to have a quick access on the document you're creating. And now, when we click File and click Open, you will find your pinned document. So, I hope you guys like this tutorial on how to use Microsoft PowerPoint. You can leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more tutorials that I will be creating in the future. You can also leave a comment down in the comment section for what kind of tutorial do you need help with. Once again, thank you everyone, and stay tuned for the next episodes in my channel. Tune in always.